What up, my dudes and my lady dudes? Welcome back to another episode of Everybody Loves Hypnotoad. It's me, your boy, the Hypnotoad.
All glory to the Hypnotoad.
We are here back with more nature being scary, cause damn nature, you scary. This time it's 5 horrible ways animals can end you. Or 5 more, rather. You already know our boy, Casual Geographics. Go check him out. Hit the subscribe button over there. Hit the like button on the video like this. Boom! And then come back, do it here. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not. Turn on the post notifications. Drop a comment. Let me know that you had your water and how you doing today. Have you gotten your Hypnotoad merch yet? This new store is up. You already know the Hypnotoad has enemies to upset with his success, and your glory is needed for that. So, make sure you hit all the buttons so the Hypnotoad knows that you love him. Because if you don't hit it, then I just assume that you hate me. You don't hate me, do you?
I am not scientifically possible!
Okay. Now, most importantly, let's cue that intro.
This is exhilarating. Get excited.
This is the part where it's supposed to be cute.
Yep, because obviously one part just wasn't enough. I'm gonna make this real quick because I want to get right to the trauma.
Oh.
Earlier we talked about 10 of the worst ways animals can put a 404 on your birth certificate.
You guys remember that, correct? Alright.
That video is gonna be in the description in case you want to get caught up.
Yeah.
But there were some pretty
It'll all be, look, I'll put a card. There should be a card up there right now for when I did that reaction.
notable animals missing from the video, and half of that was on purpose so I'd have enough ammo for a part 2.
Hey.
The other half was honestly just me forgetting. So here's
It
5
like
more
that.
terrifying ways nature can put you under a headstone, and once again, viewer discretion is very much advised.
Yeah.
And it's especially advised for one of the animals on here.
Do you hear that? I'm giving it to you. The viewer discretion is advised. Okay? You've been warned.
You'll know it when you see it.
Of
All
course.
that out the way, let's get to the content.
Hello, kitty.
It's no secret that having an Australian area code really means agreeing to live life on veteran difficulty.
Bruh.
And it's not just that everything with a heartbeat down there has the power to cancel yours. It's
Facts.
the way they can do it.
Yeah.
Get too close to a cassowary and you run the risk of getting violently disemboweled.
That's very true.
Play with a platypus and you might just find out that Perry's armed with an incapacitating venom more powerful than morphine.
Yes,
The
again.
blue ring octopus was actually one of the animals in a previous video because
Yes.
not only is it one of
Yeah.
the most venomous things in the ocean, it's also small enough for you not to feel its toxic bite.
Yeah, you're just
Which
gonna
is
get
why out
poisoned.
of all the
and-
nonsense in the land down under, this tiny octopus is what you should be the second most afraid of.
Yeah.
The
'cause you
reason
won't know
it's
what
second
happens.
is because this thing still exists.
Jellyfish are
The
sucky.
Australian box jellyfish is the most venomous thing in the ocean, which
Yeah.
obviously makes it one of the most venomous things in nature.
Yeah.
They're
Yep.
armed with a crippling toxin, potent enough to turn you into a statistic in as little as 2 minutes.
That's correct.
And that's because its venom is a neurotoxin that attacks ion channels in muscles, causing them to contract but not release.
Hey.
When those muscles happen to be in the heart, that's what can cause victims to go into cardiac
Back to
arrest.
rest.
There have been cautionary tales of people being stung by box jellies while swimming and not even having enough time to make it to shore.
Because they got clapped in the ocean. They just got clapped in the ocean. And the crazy part is sea turtles be eating jellyfish. And they just vortex them and they suck them all into their mouth because their mouths are scary, serrated death holes that are like lined with teeth. Long ones like barbs. So, and then they like vomit the water back. It's crazy. Sea turtles are they're so weird. They're great. They're cool. Those are cool animals, but they eat jellyfish. You heard what he just said about jellyfish.
Whoa! That was so cool! Hey Dad, did you see that? Did you see me? Did you see what I did?
You so totally rock, Squirt! So give me some fin. Noggin. Dude.
The reason the box jellyfish is so disrespectful with its venom is because it's specifically designed to incapacitate its struggling prey before they have a chance to snap its tentacles.
Ooh.
I call them the biggest middle finger to Australia because they're the polar opposite of blue rings.
Yeah.
The blue ring's deadly bite may be painless, but those rings it's named after are designed to warn you before you even have a chance to get that close.
That's right.
Which means the only way this octopus can be a threat is if you're crazy enough or dumb enough to hold
Like this
one.
person, yeah.
Box jellyfish give zero warning. They're virtually impossible to notice until you feel the immobilizing agony that comes with the sting.
Yep.
If you accidentally brush up against those tentacles,
Well, you're
thousands of
done.
sting cells blast microscopic harpoons into your skin, which is how
Yeah.
the venom gets to you.
That's correct.
Victims have said getting stung feels a lot like getting branded with a hot iron, which makes sense.
Awesome.
Because that's exactly what the scars look like.
Ooh. That is a fat yikers right there. Like, again, if I've told you once, I've told you many times here, stay out of the ocean. Don't go in there. Just leave it alone, okay? You're not built like that.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Don't do it. I mean, unless you have to, I guess. But other than that, don't just be going in there just to be going in there. It's horrible in there.
Even if you survive, it can still give you the world's most painful tattoo, and if you're really unlucky, a nasty case of necrosis.
Oh.
And if that wasn't horrific enough, one species managed to take it a step further.
Why?
The Irukandji jellyfish is roughly the size of a penny, yet it's somehow the most intimidating animal Australia has to offer.
Of
Its
course it
venom
is.
has been said to be 100 times worse than a cobra's and 1,000 times more toxic than a tarantula's.
Cause that's that bullshit. Only in Australia. Okay, we're gonna add one to the list. Don't go in the ocean, and you know, and if you don't have to go to Australia, I'm just gonna go ahead and say don't. Just respectfully pass on that. You know, Australian people, love you guys. You guys are really cool humans. You know, but the place where you guys live and choose to live, oh, that's not even a bad joke. That's just like, why, you know, like it's amazing that most of you guys just aren't stressed out all the time or angry. Most of you guys are very pleasant, as I've come to learn, or not, rather in my experiences with it. You guys are all nice people, but you guys don't live in a nice place. Oh, it's awful. Just awful.
And because its venom is also a neurotoxin, symptoms can include crippling pain, vomiting, severe muscle cramps, escalating all the way to brain hemorrhaging, heart failure, and eventually a flat line. This tiny jellyfish can essentially destroy you from the inside. Its skin also put you in a comatose state, almost indistinguishable from death. It basically turns you into the living dead.
Yep.
I'm not saying this homicidal sperm cell can cause a zombie apocalypse, but I am saying you do want to be ready.
Hey, let's not give anybody ideas. All right, we already have stupid, you know, stuff like movies like Resident Evil. We don't need to give nobody no ideas about nothing. All right, that is the last thing anybody needs. All right.
But what is a bad deal is if you manage to come into contact with this jellyfish, because one of the symptoms of Irukandji syndrome is an overwhelming feeling of doom. Some victims are reportedly
an overwhelming feeling of doom. Cue the doom song.
I gotta sing the doom song now. Doom, 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 doom,
He's so sure they were going to die that they would beg the doctors to put them out of their misery permanently. And that's because the venom can cause a release of catecholamine, one of the things responsible for your flight or fight response.
Yep.
Which makes this jellyfish one of the few animals that can bend you over psychologically as well as physically.
Yeah, he's gonna get
Basically, it
folded.
puts the fear of God in you to the point where you want to go meet him.
Folded.
That being said, with immediate medical attention, your chances of getting put on the news by a box jelly are surprisingly low.
Oh,
Doesn't
okay, so
change
you're
the fact that an estimated 50 to 100 people lose the lottery to this hellspawn each year.
Ah.
And because of the nature of the symptoms, that number could very well be higher and the deaths either go unreported or get falsely attributed to something else.
Yeah.
The worst part is you will almost never see it coming.
Yes,
Unlike
which is
the next
stupid.
animal.
If it's a jaguar, then yeah, you're gonna see him coming.
A few comments
kind
from
of,
the previous.
Nah, not really. I mean, you're gonna see it coming until it's too late for you to see it coming, because if you saw it coming, you would have moved a long time ago. But
This video questioned why I left big cats off the list, and honestly the answer is pretty simple.
Yep.
Cats are nature's perfect little killing machines, but because they're not pack hunters like hyenas or wild dogs, they have to put their prey out of commission before they eat it.
That's right.
This minimizes the risk of injury and allows them to carry their prize to a much more secluded spot.
Yep.
Which means most big cats will mercy murk their prey with a quick but critical bite to the windpipe.
Yep.
But of course, there has to be an exception to every rule.
Hell yeah.
Roll the clip.
Let's do it. Because I'm gonna bite you in the face. Bruh. Just bruh. Like, what are you
Jaguars
doing?
are
Going
the
fishing?
only big cats that put their prey out of commission with a crushing bite directly through the skull.
Yeah.
Jaguars are basically the bull sharks of cats. They're not the biggest or the most notorious, but pound for pound, they're the strongest with the most devastating bite.
Them jaws
A Jaguar's
ain't
max
no,
bite
ain't no
force has
joke.
been estimated to be in a range from 13 to 1,500 pounds per square inch.
Yeah.
That mouthpiece is not only strong enough to evict a turtle from its shell, but it produces enough force to puncture the skull and even pierce the brain.
Yeah.
This method is enough to one-shot virtually anything in its area code, from capybara to caiman, and they've even been known to rip the cranial cap off of animals as tanky as the tapir, which can weigh over.
Bro. Again, Jaguars. They're just it's just like you just don't want that problem. Every time I see one of those videos and the guy gives the Jaguar a chicken wing and he's just got his hand all near his mouth and stuff like that, I'm just like, that's not a good idea. That's a horrible idea, but I mean, you live your life, you know?
Over 800 pounds. Jaguars are ambush hunters that catch bodies by disabling their prey before they even have a chance to react.
Yep.
Which is why a full-grown caiman with a brain the size of a walnut has virtually no shot against a motivated vice grip with whiskers.
That's
And
correct.
since Jaguars primarily puncture the temporal bones of the skull, they essentially punch holes in your head by biting between the ears.
Yeah.
And because Jaguars are as comfortable catching life sentences in water as they are on land, they're South America's all-terrain assault weapons.
Yeah.
If a
yeah.
Jaguar wants your name off the census, you're not even a person, you're a walking corpse at that point. But
Basically,
spoiler alert, Jaguars don't even have the worst bite on this list.
No. I'm sure they don't. Because there's worse bites.
This snake
out
is
there.
naturally shy, non-aggressive, and would much rather slither away from confrontation.
But
It's when it
have
feels
to.
cornered that the bum sling shows you why it's one of the most venomous snakes to ever live.
Yep.
This sub-Saharan serpent is armed with hemotoxin-riddled venom, which contains anticoagulants that limits the body's ability to form blood clots.
Correct.
Which is how this introvert of a snake can cause fatal hemorrhaging in tissues, in muscles, and the brain, causing you to bleed into an obituary.
Woo!
If left untreated, the
wants to
bite from
bleed
a bum
out?
sling can cause you to bleed from virtually every orifice, including the eyes, nose, gums, and even the anus.
Yep.
Internal and external bleeding aside, there's two main reasons why this snake is a cell block D level menace. Number one is the lethal
we gotta put him in super in max. Super max? Yeah, we muzzle him up, strap him up in a jacket, even though he ain't got no arms, and we just throw him in there, you know?
dose of the venom itself. It's been said that the amount of bum sling venom needed to introduce you to your ancestors is one of the lowest of any snake.
Oh, that's
Number
that
two
bullshit
is
then.
because of the very nature of snakes. Venom is physiologically expensive to make, so snakes
Yeah.
will often deliver dry bites when they don't want to inject venom.
Yeah.
It's how they get their point across without wasting precious venom on a non-life-threatening situation.
That's
You're
correct.
probably wondering how not releasing venom is a bad thing, and here's where nature shows you how much of a female dog she really is. Bum
Yep.
sling venom is slow-acting, and it can take the victim several hours to feel the effects. This can cause victims to falsely assume the bite was dry and to not seek medical attention as urgently as they should.
And at that point, you are folded. At that point, it's like, it's too late. It's too late. You are already clapped and you don't know it.
By the time you're bleeding out of your ass and eyes, you're already on the wait list to the cookout in the clouds.
You feel me?
And without anti-venom, a complete blood transfusion could be the only thing keeping you from a box in the ground.
Yeah.
In 1957, herpetologist Carl Smith was bitten by a young juvenile bum sling, but he didn't immediately seek
always
medical
makes me
attention
laugh a
because he
little.
assumed the baby snake couldn't produce the lethal dose. You could probably guess how that movie ended.
Yeah, bad.
Instead of getting to a hospital, Dr. Schmidt recorded all of his symptoms after being envenomated. All of them, except for the last one.
Yeah,
That day,
obviously.
Dr. Schmidt became past tense, likely at the hands of internal excessive bleeding, all because of one mistake.
Yeah.
Had he been rushed to a hospital and received anti-venom, he might have lived long enough to learn his lesson. Lucky
Yep.
for us, the bum sling is timid and afraid of people, and for all its toxicity, it has a surprisingly low body count, believed to be only responsible for less than 10 deaths.
He said he only
Unlike the
won't
next
smoke.
animal, which has a body count not in the hundreds,
But the
not
thousands.
thousands, but likely in the millions.
Not the millions. Oh, again, Jaguar.
If I made a poll asking what the most dangerous animals in Africa are, some answers might include hyenas, the always homicidal hippopotamus.
Of
course, you can't forget the lion.
Yay.
And heavyweights like the African elephant, rhinoceros, and Cape buffalo might also make an appearance. And if you're an intellectual, you might say the mosquito, since they co-author more death certificates than any other animal.
They do be
but we
landing
know
on
how
everything.
much of a menace mosquitoes are.
Yes.
Most people don't think the same of this fly, and that's exactly why they're here. The TT fly is one of the
Oh, that thing's awful. TT flies suck. Yeah. That's one of those ones you forget about until you didn't forget about it.
Most murderous things alive, believed to have a human hit rate of, at the minimum, 10,000 bodies a year. It's a parasite that feeds on the blood of others, and like the mosquito, that makes it the perfect vector for a handful of nasty diseases.
Yep.
The nightmare starts when an infected TT fly passes on the parasite trypanosoma to an unknowing human.
That's correct.
Once that parasite turns your body into an Airbnb, it shuts you down from the inside. Being the landlord to this parasite can mean heart problems, kidney failure, anemia, and if you're pregnant, you might just get a visit from that young lady, Miss Carrie. Whoa. But the most disturbing part is that it's now the second animal on this list that can do damage to your mental.
Yep.
This disease deteriorates your body to the point where just opening your eyes or feeding yourself can leave you exhausted. Woo. It doesn't help that one of the neurological symptoms is that it completely wrecks your sleeping schedule, causing insomnia at night and borderline narcolepsy during the day.
Ha. I already don't sleep a lot, so joke's on you, buddy.
That fun little fact is exactly how this disease got its name, African sleeping sickness. And that's not the only symptom either.
Of course,
victims can experience drastic shifts in personality, usually resulting in uncontrollable episodes of aggression.
I already have episodes of aggression. So what? Are you just gonna make me angrier? I don't even think that's possible, dude.
Fly factory resets your personality, and the infected can become such a danger to themselves and others that there have been instances of victims being tied to poles where they can't hurt anybody.
Whoa.
It's a debilitating disease, and one that slowly breaks you down until you eventually slip into a coma and never wake up. Woo. The only good thing is that statistically, the chances of becoming a hashtag after being bit are incredibly low, since the TT fly has to already be infected. Correct. But my mother would have raised a liar if I said that about the bite of the last animal on this list.
My man is no liar. Alright, before we do it, what do you guys think it is? What do you think number one would be? Don't cheat either. I wanna see all the answers. No cheating. Alright, here we go.
There might not be a worse death sentence in nature than the one hiding in this picture. And that's because
that's awful. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, your head's in the way of the middle of the picture. But yeah, they're cool. They're very cool. You're not even gonna know what's gonna happen by that big thing, and you're done. And the death roll, and you're dead. That's it. Folded. Just what are you gonna do about it?
Crocodiles have spent the last 200 million years perfecting the art of canceling life subscriptions.
Facts. With
the highest recorded bite force of 3,700 pounds per square inch, getting assaulted by a croc is like getting hit with a sledgehammer with teeth, with enough power to tear flesh and crack bone.
That's correct.
Not even the murderous hippo can match that force.
No, they can't.
The crocodile's hunting strategy involves sneaking up to its victim underwater while completely undetected.
Literally.
Which they can do because nature put their eyes on the top of its head, giving them a disrespectful stealth factor.
Yeah, like, not even borderline disrespectful, but like highly disrespectful. Like the most disrespect that you could have, and then they added more. Because nothing that large should be able to just be like, I'm gonna walk up or swim up on you. You don't even know. Like, nah. You guys remember the one video the cheetah was trying to drink the water? By the time the cheetah was went to go think about drinking the water, it was already too late. Already too late.
Those are all eyes, and they're all looking at you.
Yes.
Once they're close enough, they slam.
What did I just get finished saying? The cheetah, he's already folded. Like he doesn't even know it that he's.
About 60 razor-sharp cones for teeth into their prey, and then drag them into the water where they have a home court advantage.
That's right.
Especially since a crocodile can hold its breath for over an hour.
Yeah.
And as if death by reverse baptism wasn't enough, crocodiles have possibly the most unforgiving finishing move of any animal.
The death roll.
The crocodile's death roll is designed to rip their struggling prey apart into easier to swallow chunks of flesh.
Yep.
I'm not gonna let you see what just happened to that zebra. Just know its neck is now non-existent.
This is big facts. He just spares y'all. I wouldn't have spared y'all. Y'all would have got to see it. But the death roll is, it's like, it's cool to see, but that's like, also it's like, but was that necessary, sir? for the sake of more chewable bite-sized pieces for him, yes, it was completely necessary. Yeah.
And with jaws like a snare trap, surviving a fade with a prehistoric homicide gecko usually involves negotiating an arm or a leg.
Yeah,
the crocodile's
literally.
hunting method is so successful that they've been around for hundreds of millions of years and barely
Correct.
had to change their playbook.
Literally,
But
the only thing they did was change their size and their like that's it. The variant of which they just bro. And y'all, did y'all see the size? Look at that. Look at that. What our crocodiles look like now and what they used to look like. Could you imagine if we had to deal with what they used to look like, bro? I already tell you don't go in the water. That would be like if don't go in the water times a million. Like, bruh.
Successful that they've been around for hundreds of millions of years and barely had to change their playbook. But the most haunting thing about them is that they believe in the worst type of equality. Jaguars don't see humans as prey, and they're just as likely to run away from an encounter.
True.
For all its venom, the bumsling's first choice is always pacifism. For a crocodile, anything
Violence.
that makes enough of a disturbance in its waters can get put on a list.
Literally
And out of all
violence. Wakes up and chooses violence every time he wakes up. Every day. There's never a day that he doesn't wake up and choose violence. Like, that's it. What happened? You splashed the water? I'm on your ass. You swimming by? I'm on your ass. You just trying to float and just live your life? You trying to float it off out here?
Just float it off. You'll float too.
On your ass.
Crocodilians, it's the Nile and saltwater crocodiles that
They're
have been
so
known to
big.
attack humans with enough regularity to be classified as man-eaters.
Facts.
And because splashing only excites them, a good number of victims are small children that unintentionally play in its dining room.
Goofballs.
Crocodiles pack up about 1,000 people a year, and as we continue to encroach on their space, that number is only going to get
Bigger,
higher.
yeah.
And that's going to do it for this video. Honestly, if this video doesn't get demonetized, I'd be more shocked than Pikachu, so my Patreon's going to be in the description.
No.
Being a patron earns you access to videos before I post them, along with exclusive content you might not find anywhere else.
Alright.
Still talking about animals here. It's not that kind of exclusive.
No.
But again, it's totally fine if you're not in a position to give money. It's not fine if you don't subscribe, though. Don't think that's okay.
That's facts. Did you just hear what he said? Y'all just heard what he said, correct? You feel free to go check out his Patreon. If you want to go do that, go ahead and do that. For those of you who are going to ask if the Hypnotoad has a Patreon, I'm working on it. I have to have things to put there first. So that is all if you want to do that. What's not okay is, like he just said, not hitting the subscribe button. I'm gonna send one of these Nile crocodiles to you. I'm master of time and space. I will literally just warp it there. Okay? Don't test me. You subscribed? Okay, never mind. It's cool. If you subscribed already, that's cool. Never mind. You're good. I like you. It's the non-subscribers. You're sussy. Non-subscribers are sussy. Sussy little buckets.
Hit that sub button or I'll auction your body to the highest bidding crocodile. I have the means,
See?
the resources, and the lack of morality to make it happen.
What did I just get finished saying? I will help him. I will literally help him. I will warp everything there that he wants. Okay? Master of time and space here. Just a hypnotic toad. You subscribed? Have you subscribed yet? Do you need more convincing? I didn't think so.
To make up for that blatant threat on your way of life, here's beaver serotonin.
There you go, see? To make up for all that. Yes. Thank you for watching. That is going to conclude it for this section of Damn Nature You Scary, because as always, damn nature, you scary. Period. Don't go in the water. Oh no, just stay out of the ocean. Specifically the ocean. But probably just stay out of the water. Don't just, you know what I'm saying? Don't do it. Save yourself the trouble. Hit the like, subscribe if you're not. Turn on the post notifications. Hit the links in the description so you can, or check the description so you can follow the Hypnotoad and stay up to date with everything. Stores up. It's holiday season. Get yourself some merch so you can look good for the holidays and the new year. And I will catch you guys next time. Good night, good morning, all that other good shit. Peace out.